Hey, I'm Mr. James from Charm City Karate. I'm back with candle drill part 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the drill a little bit more in depth for you, and I'm going to talk about why this drill is important and why I like the drill so much. So let's start off with why the drill is important. The drill is important because it's going to teach you very quickly how to place the focus of your blow. The reason it's going to teach it to you quickly is because it's going to give you a visual feedback on the progress of your training. A lot of times when you practice something that doesn't give you a quick visual feedback, you'll practice and you'll practice and you'll practice. You won't really know when you're getting it right, so it takes a long time to really gauge your progress. And if you don't know when you're getting it right, or you only get very minor feedback, it's hard to make adjustments. When you have something that has a good visual feedback or good kinesthetic feedback, the loop turns very quickly and you can make adjustments more quickly and you can progress a lot more quickly. When we teach our knockout class and you are knocking people out with those light force strikes, you learn it in minutes because you try it, the guy doesn't fall down, you try it again, he goes out, ta-da, you did it right, you learn it. Happens quickly because that learning loop is so fast. When you're trying this focus drill with the candle, you do it once, the flame doesn't move, you know you didn't do it right. You try it again, flame flutters a little bit, you got closer to what you're trying to do. You do it a third time, flame goes out, you did it right. Then it's very easy to do it again and again and again and put that candle out over and over and over again. So you've got a really tight feedback loop. It's easy for your brain and your subconscious and your body to make those adjustments and for you to learn it more quickly. And it's fun to do. So let's talk about why you want to have a focused blow. When we talk about the focus of a blow in Kempo, we are talking about where the impact of the blow lands. We're not talking about the targeting of a blow, which would be, do you hit him in the solar plexus, the temple, the eye, whatever. We're talking about where does the impact, the kinetic energy of that blow land. That's important. If, for instance, you hit somebody as hard as you can, but all of the kinetic energy of that lands on the surface of the target, you're not going to injure them. If you hit somebody as hard as you can and all that kinetic energy lands 3 feet behind them, you're not going to injure them. What's going to happen is you're going to shove them. They're going to stagger backwards. Not going to hurt. They're going to stagger. They're going to come back at you. That's not good. What you want, generally speaking, is for that kinetic energy to land inside the target. Most of the time when you're hitting a person, you would like that energy to be about 2 inches into them. If you're trying to break boards, you want it to be somewhere between the middle of the board and just the other side. But people, generally speaking, 2 inches in. If you're hitting somebody in the head and you land that energy 2 inches into their head, you're talking knockouts, concussions, stuns. Those are good things for you. If you land it into the ribs doing that, you're talking broken bones, loss of breath. Those are good things too. Now, focus of a blow isn't that hard to disrupt if you're on the defensive side. If somebody's throwing a punch at you and you can get your arm in there, take it on the arm, you've disrupted the focus of that blow, so instead of it landing, say, in your head 2 inches, hit you in the fist, now all of a sudden the focus is gone from the middle of your head into that hand. So you can see how if you're just throwing punches willy-nilly and you have no real focus, it's going to be very hard for you to land that effective blow. If you've practiced, you've trained, and you've worked on it, you have a much higher chance of landing a successful, focused blow. That focused blow is going to go a long way towards you winning the fight instead of losing the fight. All right, so let's get to the practice. You'll notice that I've put a black cloth up behind the candle so that you can see better. Hopefully this will give you a better visual image. I've also pulled the camera back so that you can see more clearly, and you'll know that I'm not doing anything hinky to make the candle go out. All you have to do is light your candle. And again, you want to use a big candle. If you use one of those little baby birthday candles or something, this drill won't work at all. You also don't want to use one of those candles that your wife or your girlfriend has laying around that has like 6 wicks or 3 wicks. Those things are almost impossible to put out. You'll be standing there throwing punches that might even be good, and nothing's going to happen. Very disappointing. And remember, you want to learn to do this. You don't want to stand there and frustrate yourself for no reason. Get yourself into whatever stance you want to use for this. Okay, good fighting stance. Doesn't really matter which side's forward. I would start with your preferred striking hand just because you're going to have success quicker. And that's going to make you feel better about doing this. Instead of you getting frustrated, you're going to have a quicker success loop again. Start with a lead hand punch, or a good hand punch, I should say. All right? The trick is you want to punch and snap that hand back. The snapping part is how you're going to deliver that kinetic payload when you hit the bad guy. So you're going to punch, pull the hand back, quick snap. See how the candle fluttered? But it didn't go out. So that was an okay focus, but it wasn't a really good focused blow. You want to snap your punch. Not bad. One more. Oh, a little bit better. And there it is. Once you start to get the feel for it, you should be able to do it a little bit better each time until you really get the hang of it. You start to get into the groove, you get better and better. Once you've got pretty good with the punch, you can move on and try different strikes, like maybe a chop, or even a heel palm. I'll warn you before I do this, heel palms are pretty tough. You'd think that a heel palm would be easy because you got all this nice mass pushing a big wave of air. I think that actually makes it tougher. I think that big cushion of air makes the candle flame just kind of woof, but it doesn't really go out. You really need a lot of pop when you do the palm to make it go out. But you can do it. Back knuckles are tricky too, but you can do it with a back knuckle. It's all about practice. Once you get the hang of this, you can really do it just about any strike. Like I said, I haven't done it with kicks in a long time. I'm not going to try it now. Feel free. In fact, if you can do it with a kick, send me the video. I'd be happy to link to it. It's one of my favorite focus drills, and it's a really good way to get snap and focus into your strikes. So I hope that broadened the first video up, answered some questions. Glad to hear your comments, and give us a like if you enjoyed this video. I'm Mr. James from Charm City Karate, and that is our expanded candle drill.